Hi. So I'd like to talk a little bit about this amazing app um, about that shows the first and the second temple in amazing 3D graphics. And the question is, why would you even look at such a thing? It's not there. So I have two reasons. One is that with all the lies that are being perpetuated by actually mainstream uh, people like UNESCO saying that there's no connection between Judaism and the Third Temple or the First and Second Temple, that there's no connection between Jerusalem and the Jews. This is a horrifying lie, and yet it's being accepted. Um, so just educate yourself, assert the truth, see it in front of your eyes so that the truth will never waver. And this reminds me of a story that my rabbi, Rav Natan Greenberg, told me, gosh, about 20 years ago, and it's so powerful that it's still with me. We went to Jerusalem in the middle of the night and stayed by the Kotel all night on Yom Yerushalayim, on the day celebrating the unification of Jerusalem, the reunification of Jerusalem in the Six Day War. And he read an excerpt from a book, accounts by the soldiers who conquered the Temple Mount and arrived first at the Kotel. And everyone knows the famous photo of Rav Goren blowing the shofar, holding a Sefer Torah, surrounded by soldiers. And he got there literally as the bullets were still flying. Rav Goren was an exceptional individual. I hope to speak about some more. Um, but what was disturbing was that they arrived at the Kotel after after fighting a battle on the Temple Mount. They then went down to the Kotel and they said, "Kotel biadenu." The Kotel is in our hands, and that's a horrifying thing. Why? Because they left the Temple Mount to go down to the Kotel. And my rabbi taught me like this. He said, "Why would they leave the main thing, the main thing, which is the Temple Mount, to go down to the Kotel?" What was the Kotel? The Kotel is a retaining wall, but it's the closest that the Ottoman Empire, the Muslims, would allow us to come to the Temple Mount. Before, we were excluded even from that. My my grandfather knew what it was like to live in a world without Israel, to be a Jew, a homeless Jew. My father of blessed memory, he knew what it was like to be a Jew without a heart, a Jew without Jerusalem. I know what it's like to live without a temple, and God willing, my children will see that temple, and my grandchildren, God willing, if I ever have them, will look at me and say, "Zaidi, grandfather, why didn't you have a temple? What was that like?" Because they can't imagine it. The power of imagination is enormous. If we can imagine the temple, then we have a chance of getting it. If we can't imagine it, then there's no hope. We have to be able to imagine these things. We have to see them as they exist. And that's really the power of the Temple Institute, an amazing organization. When they first began, people couldn't even imagine the temple. It was something we'd spoken about and never really envisioned. And if you look at their books and their images, you can get a feel of what it was like and what it will be like again. But you have to have that imagination. And that's where it starts. So, Eliasaf Libi, I'd like to thank you so much for this amazing experience. You go to Google Maps, and just as you can, see, plan out your trip to the local store or whatever, you can plan your trip to the temple. and envision it. And I thank you for that. I think it's an amazing thing, and please do not underestimate the power of your imagination. Thank you.